Hi guys.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Very welcome. Very warm welcome to everyone. Look at this. Brilliant.
Wow, it's lovely to see so many of you joining. Thank you so much for taking your time to join our webinar, which, as you can see here, is really focused on parents and children, and preparation for mocks and upcoming exams. My name is Murray Morrison. I'm the founder of Tassomai, which is an education resource, a software that's used in schools and by families around the country. Some of you may already be using it. Some of you may be at this webinar because you downloaded our online book, the GCSE Survival Guide. Welcome all of you. I'm joined here today by Kit Masters, who is a science teacher, physics teacher especially, and director of learning science at Abbeyfield School in Northampton. But he's more famously known outside Northampton as the YouTube presenter of Gorilla Physics, which is one of the top science channels on YouTube in the country, and we're really lucky to have him join us. So, welcome, Kit.
Thanks very much. Thanks. I think this is really timely for you guys, and well done for joining because I think if students prepare well for mocks, then there's really no need to worry and there's no need to panic. And I think putting this together and Tassomai putting together the survival guide it's, as I say, really the right time for you to be thinking about these things. And if you stay true to the tried and true way to prepare for GCSEs, which is to go through these mock experiences and follow the path laid out by your school. Schools have loads of experience taking students through this and getting them the exam success. So I'm really pleased it's just the right time to be doing this webinar, and I hope you get lots from it.
Absolutely. It's not well known, really, that Tassomai started out as a company, not as an online revision program at all, but really one about supporting families, supporting parents in helping their children maintain a healthy balance between their schoolwork and their sort of general wellness, and really about supporting families about good communication. And that's really what we're focusing on today, is how you as parents can help your children get the best out of the opportunity in front of them without overdoing it and overstressing, because that's such a factor, but also making sure they can really get the best result on the day for them. So briefly, just running through what we're going to cover today, we'll talk about learning and revision, the science of learning and revision, and what works, what doesn't, and those kind of key strategies that are going to really help. And that's obviously going to be the major focus of today. We'll look at general revision techniques and the science behind that. We'll also talk about identifying the weaker areas, helping to strategize and build a really good plan around revision, around exam preparation, that although we're both scientists, Kit and I are both science background, is applicable to all subjects across the whole range. But we will also have lots of time, hopefully, for questions and answers. And that's where we'd really like you to come in and make your contributions. So best thing to do is, in the chat window there, please submit any questions you have. We are joined as well by Spencer, who you can't see because I've turned his camera off. But Spencer works with me, and he's actually the genius behind the survival guide. He did all that work to put that fantastic resource together. Spencer's going to collect your questions as we go along, put them together, and we'll be able to jump on those towards the end and discuss them together. So yeah, please do add your questions there. Before we do that, we were going to have a poll, but because I'm not very good at webinars, I didn't know how to make the poll work. But we are interested to know about you, what year your child's in. Obviously, you may have more than one, and so but are you looking at mocks this year for a year 11 child, or are they at a different stage in school? So do put that in the chat. Tell us a bit about yourselves, and also we're interested to know, so we can steer the content a little bit, whether you're using Tassomai or not, because obviously we don't want to tell you about a product you're already well aware of and waste your time on that, but it might be worth talking about that as well. But first up, we're going to just do what was going to be a little poll about our animals that you may have read in the survival guide if you've downloaded that and read that. We'll keep them on the screen, I think, actually, if you don't mind, Kit. Apart from anything, I might forget what they are otherwise. So the question is, which of these animals is your child? So in no particular order, we have here the the ostrich on the right here. So that's a classic archetype of teenage child that when the stress of exams approaches and the kind of the big test comes, maybe buries their head in the sand and just takes that sort of avoidant approach, which, as we all know, is kind of speaking to some underlying nerves and genuine worries that we could help to address. Is your child an ostrich? Are they a porcupine? Very similar to the ostrich, but rather than avoiding, they maybe become slightly aggressive and tell you to get out of their room and slam the door. Or is your child perhaps the lion on the left here? That's a kind of the kind of student who is a high achiever, has high expectations, or you have high expectations of them, and perhaps they don't look like they're working hard enough to achieve that result that you were expecting. Maybe they're looking a little complacent, maybe they're too relaxed, but maybe that's speaking to some kind of lack of confidence in them. Perhaps they're scared to put themselves to the test and not meet that expectation. The other two, slightly more abstract, the meerkat in the middle, very friendly fellow. If your child is the meerkat, that's maybe they're doing everything right. They're super busy, super energetic. They're taking it terribly seriously, but perhaps they're overdoing it and risking burnout. And then the final one, the sort of least obvious animal there, is the bowerbird, second from the left. That's in nature is the bird that spends an awful lot of time decorating its nest in beautiful colors. That's in revision talk, perhaps the student who is spending a lot of time coloring in their notes and not really much time reading and digesting them. So out of interest, maybe in our chat, you could put down which of those animals you think most sounds like your child. I know that I've taught all 5 of those. I'm sure you have too, Kit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They reckon, they make me think of lots of our students. I think it's a really good analogy. And this is one of the bits in the GCSE survival guide that I really enjoyed. It just made it really clear that it's about, thinking about your young person as an individual and what's the best way to support them. There's some really great stuff in the chat, and do keep firing in any questions as well. I'm really pleased to see one school recommending people to come to this webinar. So that's really, really wonderful. That's what we want.